Okay, everyone. It's Monday, and you already know what time it is. It's time for more One Piece. So let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to my One Piece read-through series, where I go through every single volume of One Piece from the very beginning. Today, we will be going through volume 37 of the series, titled Tom. So, let's go ahead and get started. I had like a hearty breakfast, I fed the boys. I'm good. The Story of One Piece, volume 37. Monkey D. Luffy started out as just a kid with a dream to become the greatest pirate in history. Stirred by the tales of pirate red-haired Shanks, Luffy vowed to become a pirate himself. That was before the enchanted devil fruit gave Luffy the power to stretch like rubber, at the cost of being unable to swim. A serious handicap for an aspiring sea dog. Undeterred, Luffy set out to sea and recruited some crewmates: Master Swordsman Zoro, treasure hunting thief Nami, lying sharpshooter Usopp, the high-kicking chef Sanji, Chopper, the walking talking reindeer doctor, and the latest addition, Nico Robin, an archaeologist with a powerful physique. They once again change up the descriptions. For Robin, alright. After many adventures, the Straw Hat ship, the Merry Go, is less than seaworthy. In order to get her repaired, they head to Water 7, home of the best shipwrights. When told that Mary is damaged beyond repair, Luffy makes the agonizing decision to get a new ship. Furious at Luffy's decision, Usopp leaves the crew. And when Robin is linked to an assassination attempt on Mayor Iceberg, her betrayal and then desertion leave them flabbergasted. When the Straw Hats are blamed for the crime, they set out to learn the truth, but what they find out uncovers more deception. The other assassins are the agents of CP9, a covert agency working directly for the world government. Their real motive is to secure the blueprints of the Pluton, the destructive ancient weapon believed to be in Iceberg's hands. But when they come up... Ooh, Ozzy, thank you for being a member for 12 months. That just popped up. And we're about to go dark to an extent. We're about to get dark to an extent. To an extent, yeah. But it's good to see you, Ozzy. What a perfect timing for a phone call. But it's good to see you, Cohagen. Good to see you, Ozzy. Good to see everyone here today. Sorry about that. We're good. We're good. Everything's good. We're good. Let's continue where I left off. But what they find out uncovers more deception. The other 8 assassins are the agents of CP9, a covert agency working directly for the world government. Their real motive is to secure the blueprints of the Pluton, the destructive ancient weapon believed to be in Iceberg's hands. But when they come up empty-handed, they focus their attention on another possibility, that Frankie's got the blueprints. All right, so we are going to be going through chapters 347 all the way through 357. And like Kohagen says, it's 11 chapters today, so this one might be a bit of a long one like the rest. Chapter 347, Six Powers. Gedatsu's Unexpected Life on the Blue Sea, Volume 31. That's the BAF attendant, Master Gedatsu. So, despite all the things that Gedatsu has basically done to help out Goro and Toto and create a whole underground line that goes straight from their major hot springs all the way down to Alabasta, Gedatsu, who was called like the boss of the Blue Sea, is really just the attendant for the spa. He's literally the secretary for the spa. And his face is just like, I'm the attendant? And that's the face that he's getting. But in the last chapter, we had everyone crashing into Iceberg's room. Zoro and Nami and Chopper crashing in from one side. Luffy and Paulie crashing in from the other before anything major happens to Iceberg as CP9 has revealed themselves. Lucci, Kaku, Khalifa, and Bluno as well. And everyone is just standing in the room of Iceberg while he slumped over. Robin! I finally found you! Hey, Luffy! Where the heck have you been?
Robin! I'm so glad I got to see you again! Hold on, what's going on here?
Goes Chopper and Nami respectively. And Nami's just looking and Paulie's just looking. And then we get Lucci speaking. Well. Straw Hat. Paulie! Mr. Iceberg? What on earth is going on here? Paulie, you idiot! Why didn't you run? And Khalifa, Kaku, and Bluno are just looking at Paulie. What's going on here? It almost looks like you guys are the ones who's trying to assassinate him. Why are you dressed like that? Hey, Khalifa, Bluno, Kaku, Lucci! This must be some kind of sick joke. That's right! They're the shipwrights who were with you! The guy with the pigeon! Right? Now that you mention it, I recognize that square-nosed guy.
No way! You mean the assassin who was someone inside the organization?
And then Lucci speaks again. Paulie, the truth is we work for government intelligence. If we apologize, you'll forgive us, won't you? All those days we spent together, building ships from dusk until dawn. We've been comrades. I know this is sudden and you may not believe us. So should I smash in Iceberg's face to prove it? And he just casually says, like, if you don't believe me, I'll casually just smash in his face to prove it. Yeah, Ozzy, you were not kidding. But once again, thank you for being a member for 12 months. I just had to get that out again. Quit messing with me! That's enough! The voice I just heard, coming from the guy with the bull mask. It was your voice! Why? All this time you could talk just fine! I'll teach you to make fun of me! Paulie, stop! Pitch hive knives! And it cuts to Paulie throwing a piece of rope at Lucci. And it has knives looped into it. But Lucci just moves out of the way with lightning speed. And then goes, finger pistol. And then jabs his finger directly into Paulie. Yeah, jabs his finger directly into Paulie's sternum. Haven't you learned your lesson yet, Paulie? And then Paulie just almost goes unconscious from, like, imagine, it's one thing to get shot by a person. It's another for a person to forcibly jab their finger into your body with astounding force. Hey, rope guy! Why? Why would you guys? And then Paulie drops to his knee. Don't try to tough it out. It's pointless to resist. We're trained in an art that goes beyond anything you can imagine. A martial art which at the culmination of training makes the human body equal to a weapon. 6 powers, or Rokuchiki if you're going from the Japanese term. A master of this art is as strong as 100 men. And then it cuts to Paulie thinking back to his times, chilling with Bluno in his bar, and Lucci, who still didn't speak during that time.
Cuckoo! Better stop that! All you do is gamble!
Idiot, I was lucky today. That's why I'm buying you drinks, remember? Bluno, booze! Give me booze! Game Challenger Wolf. Yo, hello, welcome to the stream. We are going through volume 37 of One Piece. We are currently on the first chapter, 347. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the revelation of CP9. Khalifa, you hussy, wearing clothes like that again? Stop it, Polly. If it bothers you, just don't look. Because, you know, Khalifa dresses very fine. And then it cuts to Polly, who's still managing to stand up. Why are you people? Why are you people? And then Lucci goes, well, never mind. Unfortunately, my friend, you were going to be eliminated anyway. Lucci, you dirty! And then it cuts to, because it looks like Lucci's preparing to kill Polly right then and there. If you guys want to see what I'm seeing, either go to Viz or go to Manga Plus and go to chapter 37 and then just keep up with me from there. Because I can't show images because of copyright reasons. I already scratched that line before. I don't want to do that again. But Luffy comes in and kicks Lucci. Stop it, you guys! And Lucci just catches Luffy's foot. Gum! Iron body. Gatling gun! And Lucci just braces himself, and he just eats all the punches. Huh? It's not affecting him at all! What a pain. Shave! And then Luffy is just immediately, Lucci. Luffy and Lucci. I had this mistake. I've done this mistake many times. The next time we see Luffy and Lucci together. Shave! Huh? He disappeared! And then Lucci, my goodness, is right there in front of Luffy. Finger pistol. But since Luffy has a rubber body, it doesn't really do too much to him. But it does kind of, you know, mess with his throat. Luffy! And he lands right next to Zoro and the others. But he's choking and coughing, because, you know, you ever get hit in the throat and it just makes you cough? If you were normal, you'd have a hole in your neck. You'd have died instantly, Rubber Man. And then, an arm stretches right next to Lucci, and it grabs Polly. And Luffy pulls Polly to him. And then he's just huffing and puffing. What are you doing, Straw Hat? You're planning to kill this guy, right? You built ships together, didn't you? Until a while ago, yes. Everything's different now. So you're really a traitor! Fine then. All I know is I made a promise. I promised this guy we'd thrash whoever was trying to kill the ice guy. And then Kaku speaks up as Iceberg just looks on. Why are you taking Polly's side? Because I've got business with you too. Hey, Robin, what gives? Why are you with these guys? If you want to leave us, tell me why. And then it cuts to Nami.
Yeah, these guys say that they're with the government. Why are you with them?
And then Robin speaks.
You people don't listen very well, do you? I told the cook and the ship's doctor I was leaving. Didn't they tell you?
And then Chopper chimes in.
We told them, but I don't get why. Why, Robin? To make my wish come true. If I stay with you people, this wish will never be fulfilled. To accomplish my goal, I'll make any sacrifice.
And then Zoro speaks up. You go so far as to frame your friends for murder. What is this wish of yours?
I don't need to tell you that.
And then Iceberg. That woman, she's not sane! Are you crazy, Nico Robin? Do you understand what it is you're trying to do?
I didn't ask for your opinion, Iceberg. Now be quiet.
As Robin puts Iceberg in an arm lock. Yeah, basically holds him down and puts him in an arm lock. Either that or she just straight up broke his arm, but I think she put him in an arm lock where he can't move.
Now be quiet.
Mr. Iceberg!
Don't get in my way.
Hey, Robin, what are you doing? Are you serious?
Robin, what's happened to you? Are you really our enemy now, Robin?
And then it's Lucci who speaks. I'm sorry to have to break up this happy reunion, but there's a person of some importance we must find right now. We're in a hurry. We have no more business in this mansion, and absolutely no more use for you. Khalifa, how long do we have?
2 minutes.
This is a bit sudden, but in 2 minutes, this mansion will go up in a ball of flames.
What?
Fire is such an effective method for erasing all sorts of evidence. If you'd rather not burn to death, I'd hurry and leave the mansion. That is, assuming you can get by us.
As it shows Khalifa, Bluno, and Kaku standing in front of Lucci and Robin. As means of saying, like, none of you are getting out of here alive.
And then Zoro speaks up. Looks like they plan to get rid of us. And our friend Nico Robin has clearly chosen her side. Luffy, now do you understand that Robin's left the ship?
I don't buy it! And that's the end of chapter 347. We got an SBS, and then we can move on to chapter 348. Reader! Just a minute, Oda-sensei. I didn't know you've gotten married. Why didn't you announce that earlier, huh? And you told us you turned 30, but you said it late and, I don't have any presents ready. Nothing at all. So let me just say a few words to you. The question corner is starting! Yay, congratulations to you. I feel better now. Sign, Saito. Oda, thank you very much. Hey, it already started! Well, alright, never mind. I'll forgive you just this once. I got a mountain of congratulatory messages from everybody, and it's put me in a good mood. And it, grinning ear to ear. It's so great to have such nice readers. Thank you. That said, not a single thing about my lifestyle has changed. So I'll keep running straight down the road of manga the way I've always done. No matter what happens, Oda still remains the same. You gotta love it. Reader! Oda-sensei, I've got a question. Midway through the Skypiea arc, chapter 244, Luffy starts wearing a wristband and bracelet. Why is that? Is it just to look cool? When they come down from the sky, he isn't wearing them anymore. Sign, Gakuri. Answer. You're right. There's no meaning behind them. They're just there to look cool. Or rather, in that situation, Usopp and Sanji are there with him, remember? It seems as though when they changed into their adventure gear, Luffy spaced out while watching them and thought, hey, that looks super adventure-ish. Huh? And borrowed a wristband from Usopp, and then Sanji says, okay, put this on too, and put a bracelet on him. Fundamentally speaking, Luffy, Zoro, and Chopper are all incapable of dressing snappily. The only times they manage it are when Nami, Usopp, Sanji, or Robin are around to help them. And that is the end of SBS, the first SBS of this volume. Good to see you, Cedas. Welcome, Nakama! Chapter 348, Fighting Power. Gadatsu's Unexpected Life on the Blue Sea, final volume. Dropped by accidental baths on Hot Springs Island. So because of Gadatsu, they basically turned that entire island into its own hot spring business. And Gadatsu is still the attendant with a face of like, what, I'm the attendant? But then Lucci continues. Very soon, the flames will rise up from the first floor and incinerate everyone in the building. Well, the culprits are pirates after all. These things do happen. You monsters, goes Paulie. And Luffy doesn't say anything. And then Nami chimes in. Assuming false identities to get whatever you want, that's in seriously poor taste. And then Bluno speaks up.
Your reputation was tarnished already. I doubt you'll be inconvenienced much.
Bluno has a deep voice.
Your reputation was tarnished already. I doubt you'll be inconvenienced much.
How am I doing? I'm doing fantastic. Had a nice, fresh, hot shower. I need to get myself some new soap. Because I use Old Spice, Captain, Bergamot, Scent of Bergamot. I want to try some others later. And the clock is just ticking. And then Robin puts the hood on her head. I'll leave first then.
Right, you fulfilled your role. Good work.
Wait, Robin! I won't let you leave like this! Goodbye. Robin!
Don't let her go. Don't let Nico Robin.
Where are you going now? We finally found you and now you're just gonna... Move it, you!
Iron Body.
And Bluno is directly in front of Luffy. And he just takes a kick to the face from Luffy with Iron Body, and without even a hint
without even a hint of it actually affecting him. Dang it! How come nothing I do to these guys even phases them? The training we've undergone has tempered our bodies to the point of being tough as iron shells. I told you to move it! Paper art. Harmless though they are, I'm not going to sit back and take your beatings. And Bluno is just dodging all of these hits from Luffy with paper art.
Ah! He's not taking any hits, even though he's humongous! He's fluttering around like paper.
And then it cuts to Robin, who continues to move to a window. Robin, wait! Why you? Gum? Bullet! Shave. And then Bluno just disappears, like he just basically flash steps away from Luffy. He disappeared again! I didn't disappear. I just moved faster than your eyes could see, using my superior leg strength. And then Luffy tries to hit him, and then Bluno jumps up in the air. You jerk! Moonwalk. The strength in our legs is such that we can push off of cushions of air to stay afloat.
Ah! He's flying!
And then Khalifa and Kaku appear right next to Luffy going, and also, Tempest Kick! Ah! And then Luffy gets hit by a flying shockwave, and sends Luffy flying to the other side of the building. And Zoro sees this. A cutting attack? Get down, you two!
Why?
And then everyone gets down as this Tempest Kick from both Kaku and Khalifa moves with such resounding speed that it winds up cutting the building behind everyone. Of course, Luffy got hit by this attack, so he's the only one bleeding.
Ah! Ah! Huh?
Whoa!
Luffy! Did they just cut the wall with that kick? With a swift enough kick, it's possible to create a devastating scythe wind. That is the Tempest Kick.
And this is Khalifa saying this. And then Zoro rushes up, and he immediately goes for Kaku. And Kaku defends himself using those same carving knives that he had with him when the Gallilock Company ran up on Luffy and Frankie earlier on. We met on the ship, didn't we, Roronoa? You weren't a real shipwright. Wait, don't tell me your assessment of the ship was... Unfortunately for you, my assessment was given in all seriousness. I wonder what Oda was thinking when he created Bluno. Like, it's not Bluto, because Bluto is the name of the big hefty dude from Popeye. But Bluno here, like, I can see the similarities. But it's Bluno. We met on the ship, didn't we, Roronoa? You weren't a real shipwright. Wait, don't tell me your assessment of the ship was... Unfortunately for you, my assessment was given in all seriousness. Ugh, that is unfortunate. And then Zoro clashes with Kaku. And then Luffy finally gets up, with him bleeding from the mouth and his chest kind of bloody from getting kicked directly in the body. And then it shows Robin opening the window. Don't go, Robin! Our conversation isn't over!
No, it's over. I won't be seeing you again.
And then Nami goes,
Robin!
And it cuts to Zoro, who's still clashing with Kaku, and Kaku notices an attack coming and he dodges out of the way. Luffy, hurry up and grab Robin! And then Luffy runs in the direction of Robin, with Kaku, who's still somersaulting, going, Roronoa, taking your eyes off your opponent during a fight? You must be pretty confident. And Kaku doesn't use his carving knives, but he takes his finger and jabs it directly into Zoro in multiple places. Not just one portion of him, but like in both of his shoulders and in his midsection. He's actually hitting the weak points. It's like hitting the ball joints of an action figure. If you take out the ball joints connecting the arms to the body, then you can pretty much capsize an entire figure. He hits Zoro in like 2-3 different spots.
Zoro!
And then Zoro falls over, as Kaku just simply goes, finger pistol. And he falls to the ground. You don't need a bullet to puncture the human body. And then it cuts to Luffy, whose face is being grabbed by Lucci. Go, Nico Robin.
Cuckoo!
and then Luffy is trying to hit Lucci, while Lucci is grabbing him by the face, but of course, it's not doing anything to him.
Robin! He's really got Luffy locked down.
He's hitting points like Kenshiro? Exactly. Hitting the weak points of Zoro so that it impairs him even further. And then it shows that Robin is gone. And it shows from the perspective of the window, everyone's still in the room while Luffy is still struggling to get out of Lucci's grasp. Curse you! And then Luffy is screaming into Lucci's hand, but you can't hear it, it's just incredibly muffled. And then he just nonchalantly tosses Luffy to the side.
Luffy! Zoro!
And Zoro's barely managing to get up, he's bleeding profusely, Luffy's down, and then it cuts to Nami.
What is with their strength?
What are you people? Goes Paulie. And then Lucci speaks again. We are far beyond ordinary humans. Those of us in CP9 have been in training for as long as we can remember. We honed our skills to serve the government and to overcome the limits of the human body. We gained 6 superhuman fighting skills through that training. 6 powers. By now, you must be painfully aware of the difference in combat power between the 4 of us. The world government's most elite fighting force, and you, a mere band of pirates. And Lucci's just giving them that stone-cold glare. Of course, the full extent of our powers is classified. Strictly need to know, and scum like you would never qualify. And clock continues to tick.
Lucci, the ignition device is about to detonate. We have to hurry.
Right. But a chance like this may not come again. Why don't I show you something interesting as this draws to an end? And then it cuts to the utter shock of Paulie, Chopper, and Nami, and the surprise of Luffy, as apparently Lucci changes shape. And we just see this big, muscular, shadowy figure. But we don't see what it is yet. But that's the end of chapter 348, onwards to chapter 349. But before that, we got an SPS. Reader, I just randomly thought of this. When Chopper's small, meaning when he's his usual size, how does he carry things? Does he just pinch them up cleverly between his hooves? For some reason, this has really been bugging me. And then, sign, Midoringo. And Oda basically drew what happens whenever Chopper tries to hold on to things. Let me show you a picture, and it shows Chopper's hooves bending around a fork, and then when it comes to something that's bigger than his hooves can carry, it's just in his hands. It's just on his hands. Like he doesn't have fingers, but we're just gonna use manga anime logic here. It's like this. He grabbed it. Persuasion by force. Reader, Oda, question. Do you decide all the abilities provided by the devil fruits that appear in the anime and the movies? Please tell me. Sign Matsutake. Oda, there are script writers who create the original stories for the anime and movies, and whoever's writing the script at the time proposes the sort of fruit they want to use. My only role is granting or denying permission. Telling them, oh sure, that's fine, or wait, I'm going to use that one for later. That's all I do. So to answer his question, he kind of is the deciding factor. If it's going to be something he's going to introduce in the story later, it's all like, no, can't use that. But if it's not going to be something he's going to use in the story of One Piece, then it winds up in the movies. Or filler. Reader, sorry, something in my teeth. Reader, Oda-sensei, there's something that really, really bugs me right now. It's about Usopp's nose and the shipwright form in Kaku's nose. Which one's longer? And Oda-sensei, you're mean. You shouldn't mess with Kaku's nose. Still, it's real long. This dude is, the person speaking is the one who's messing with Kaku's nose. Let's compare. And it turns out that in comparison to their long size, Usopp wins out. Thanks to the rounded bit at the end, Usopp's is longer, because Kaku's nose at the end is just straight rectangular and flat. whereas Usopp's is long and rounded. And so that rounded bit starts to, edge out more than the flat surface of the end of Kaku's nose. But that's the end of the SBS. Chapter 349, Ordinary Citizens. Fire! Hey, everybody wake up!
No way, the headquarters is burning! Is it the work of those pirates?
It's too big! We'll never put it out now!
Everybody evacuate!
What's the third floor like? What about Mr. Iceberg?
Let's find out! We can't leave him behind!
To Mr. Iceberg's room! And then it cuts to the hallway where everyone was pretty much killed by CP9. Lucci, what the heck are you?
Oh no! Oh no!
And Chopper's screaming. As we see, apparently Lucci has turned into something.
A devil fruit! A devil fruit!
What kind of devil fruit? It's the cat fruit. And leopard model, as it shows that Lucci is a Zoan user, and he is capable of turning into a massive leopard. Cat fruit, a model leopard. A leopard man, huh?
He's huge!
And mind you, Lucci's size when he's in his cat form pretty much eclipses everyone in the entire room. His hair, which is really, really big in this form, it touches the ceiling. He's the only one who touches the ceiling. Mind you, the tallest person in this room was previously Bluno, but now Lucci pretty much takes that by far. And he also, being part cat, he also has long, enormous claws on his hands as well.
He's huge! Ah, not good! Carnivorous Zoan types grow more ferocious too!
Logia, Zoan, Paramecia. While there are many unique abilities, a characteristic of Zoan types is the ability to strengthen your own physical abilities. The more you train, the more your power is amplified. For aggressive attacks, the Zoan type is the strongest. Ugh, his body is insane! And then not Usopp, but Iceberg continues to watch on. And then Khalifa can hear the workers heading up to Iceberg's room.
Lucci, the workers are on their way up! Lucci, the workers are on their way up!
Oh, don't worry. They'll never make it this far. Tempest kick! And then a cracked line starts to go across the entire building after Lucci kicks. Did I call him Luffy before? And it just goes throughout the entire building. And it starts rumbling at the top of it. Wait! The ceiling looks like it's about to collapse! Get back! And then one whole section of Galilea just collapses on itself. From Lucci's Tempest kick, it collapses an enormous portion of the building just from the kick alone. Wonder if we'll see anything like that again in the future. Chopper! Nami! Get away from the wall! As Nami and Chopper start running. And then Chopper sees a bit of rubble falling towards Nami, and he knocks her out of the way. But all we see is just like the rubble fall down near Chopper.
Chopper! Chopper!
As it cuts to it cuts to Polly, who runs over to Iceberg. Polly, what are you doing? I'm not leaving you here, boss. This is insane. You're badly wounded. How are you going to manage? And it shows Iceberg and Polly directly in front of Lucci. Stop this, Polly. Even after all you've done? Deep down inside, I feel like we're still comrades! The feeling's not mutual, as Lucci prepares to just gouge into Polly. Pigeon guy! And then Luffy comes up and hits Lucci directly in the face. And mind you, Lucci was not using Iron Body that time, so he actually gets hit full force. Straw Hat! And then Lucci takes his finger and hits Luffy directly in the chest with Finger Pistol. And mind you, a regular finger pistol is enough to completely perforate an entire human body. But since Lucci is in his Zoan state right now, it's even far more damaging as his finger basically goes straight through Luffy's body. Yep. Luffy has been impaled once again, first with Crocodile, now again with Lucci. Actually, I think this is the third time because I think he got impaled on Eneru's staff when he turned it into a trident during their fight. So this is the third time that Luffy's been impaled. And Luffy's just standing there gripping onto his body as Zoro screams, "Luffy!" And then it cuts to Lucci, who licks his finger because it has Luffy's blood on it. Lucci just licks his finger, then grabs Luffy by the head. "I'll send you on a one-way flight off the island!" And just throws Luffy's body straight through the building. And Luffy just goes sailing into the distance. 8 people watching? Good lord, where did all of y'all come from? I hope you enjoy yourself while you're here. But Luffy just goes sailing into the distance. "Luffy!" "Why you? Iron Body." And Zoro tries to hit Lucci, and Lucci just easily deflects him. And then Lucci spins around and sends Zoro flying into the distance as well. "You too." As he sends Zoro flying all the way out of Water 7, out to the ocean on the outside of the island. Remember, Aqua Laguna is still coming, so not only is Zoro gonna have to worry about surviving in this ocean, but also dealing with a massive typhoon hurricane that's on its way as well. So, like, things are not looking good for the captain and first mate of the Straw Hat crew. Do you think you'll catch up before the live-action series on August 31st? May, June, July, August. Yes, because I'm going to hit chapter 41 this week. I'm going to hit chapter 41 this week, which will leave 41 more chapters to go before I'm done. And that's going to take 41 days. And if you take out all the Sundays that I skip over because I take breaks on Sundays, I don't read chapters, I don't read volumes on Sundays. If I take out all the Sundays that I'm going to be skipping over, I honestly feel I'm still going to have I know I'm going to have enough time to be able to be done with my entire read-through series all the way to volume 82 to be able to tune in and watch the live action show. So yeah, I know I will. That's a fact. I know I will. But also, welcome, Waffles and Bacon! Hope you enjoy yourself while you're here. So I know for a fact I'm going to be done with this before then. Because there's more than 41 days in both July and August. So if I can get through, if I can get down to like the 70s or 80s, because it's on August 31st. So I literally have this month, and then practically 2 extra months, not counting the 31st of August, to get through 40 different volumes. That's more than 40 days. So, yeah, I'm going to be done. I know I'm going to be done. I know I am. I am confident. I stake my channel on it. But, Zoro goes flying into the ocean. And then it cuts to everyone outside who's seeing all of Galileo just being engulfed in flames.
Christ, this can't be! Did everybody get out? Did you get everybody out?
I don't know, but it's too hot to go back.
It's completely engulfed in flames!
Has anyone seen Mr. Iceberg? He's got to be safe. There are 3 foremen with him, Polly, Coco, and Lucci. I refuse to believe 3 brave men like that would let him die in this fire. Even so.
Hey, a girl fell from one of the upper floors. She's one of the Straw Hats. There's no doubt about it. Arrest her! We'll make her tell us where the others are!
They don't understand what's going on here. As we cut to the inside of Galileo, and Polly and Iceberg are bound by their arms and legs inside this blazing inferno, as Lucci continues to speak from a distance as they watch their handiwork. Not one will accept the word of pirates as evidence. This incident will fade into darkness. Mr. Iceberg, you may have been a brilliant master shipbuilder, and the mayor of a great city. But no ordinary citizen can defy the will of the world government. As it shows Bluno, Lucci, Kaku, and Khalifa just watching all of the Galila headquarters just be just engulfed in flames. So dark. So dark. Let's go. We have to recover the blueprints from Tom's other disciple, Frankie. No, Cutty Flam. And that is the end of chapter 349. Onwards to chapter 350, The Warehouse Under the Bridge. And it just shows Water 7. It shows Galila headquarters in flames. It shows Kokoro just drinking as she watches this from a distance. And Chimney.
Granny, that fire's intense! That's Galila headquarters, isn't it? They do some awful things, don't they? What do you mean? Did somebody set the fire? I don't know, honey. That said, this city's had bad mojo for some time. I do hope Iceberg's all right, but he's been hiding things that don't belong in this world or any world.
The fact that Kokoro is just subtly referencing everything that's been going on, and she knows so much. And CP9 has never thought to try and find out about her? But then it shows Lucci and everyone else just using Skywalk. Well, not Skywalk, Moonwalk. I meant to say Moonwalk. Using Moonwalk to just go through the air. Bluno, Frankie was at your bar? Yes, but he rushed out to search for the Straw Hats. Drat, I guess we'll have to search the city then. As it shows all four of them just going through the city to find out where Frankie is. Also, it looks gloomy outside because apparently we're going to be having a storm go through for the next couple of hours. So hopefully I can get this done before the weather gets all finicky, because it tends to mess with my internet sometimes. But we should be fine. Then it cuts to Kaku. It seems we caught a lucky break. Huh? Look. Listen, Straw Hat. We have long... Oh, wait, this is Yambe going.
Listen, Straw Hat. We have long nose.
That's right. Yup.
If you don't want us to think you like emotion...
Idiot, that's not right. If you don't want us to sink them in the ocean.
Not emotion?
The ocean.
You stink at memorizing stuff.
Who cares about the details as long as Straw Hat shows up?
He'll never show up with you spouting nonsense.
Bro's gonna kick out butts when he gets back.
If you don't want us to sink him in the ocean, come to the warehouse under the bridge. From Frankie! That's how it's done, people!
And then it cuts to Frankie's crew going,
Show yourself, Straw Hat!
Right about now, that long-nosed jerk is probably getting his face rearranged by Frankie in the warehouse.
After what you lot did to our base, Frankie sure as heck ain't pulling his punches.
As Yambe just thinks that Frankie is just beating up on Usa.
Huh?
And then Lucci steps up in front of him. Who did you say was waiting for who and where?
What's that? Who are you? Do you know who you're talking to? You know what family we're from?
Yeah, we got nothing to say to you. If you want to live, then you have 3 seconds to answer.
Huh? Hey, get this guy. Dude thinks he's a comedian.
Where's this warehouse under the bridge? Frankie is there, correct? I don't think Yanbei and the crew realize who they're talking to. It's a case of mistaken identity. Water 7 back alleys, the northeast shore, the big bridge in front of the garbage dump, and someone is screaming. The warehouse under the bridge, Frankie's secret base. It's too much. Oh man, you're breaking my heart. And then Mozu and Kiwi are just crying as well.
You actually split from the friends you travel with from the East Blue on a ship?
Why are you people crying?
As Usopp is just right there chilling with Frankie. Idiot, I ain't crying. Fine, I admit I moved that you go so far to protect the ship. We're not crying.
We're not crying. Nobody's here crying.
What's wrong with these people? Anyway, do you get it now? Them and me, we're not comrades anymore.
Oh, man. A breakup like that deserves a song. I call it Split Among Friends, North Wind Chop.
Rocket, bro! Are you making fun of me?
Like, Usopp is just chilling with Frankie, Mozu, and Kiwi, and he's just still working on the Mary. While Frankie is just chilling, making up songs on his guitar. I've cried so much I'm exhausted. Not that I was crying. And it shows that he clearly was crying. His snot is running out of his nose and his eyes are red.
Here, bro, have some tea. It's sort of hot.
I ain't teasing. You're a cool brother. And then he just drinks the tea, even though I think this is Mozu. I think this is Kiwi. Even though Kiwi just basically told him that it's burning hot. That's just boiling!
Settle down, will you?
So, I guess you're pretty mad about the 200 million that we stole, huh? Not to mention that major beatdown we gave you.
What happened, happened. There's no point in holding a grudge.
That's real decent of you. Although I should tell you about that 200 million. We used it all up! And Frankie is just posing with Mozu and Kiwi.
I will kill you!
Chill, man. No need to get cranky. Look, I'll show you that I can be a real man, too. Huh? As of now, I'm cleaning the slate. Sure, I wiped out your crew's fortune, but don't forget you destroyed my home sweet home and dismantling factory, the Frankie house, and wiped out most of my underlings. You jerks are gonna pay big time for what you did!
Bro! There's that rage problem again!
As Frankie is just thinking about all this stuff, and he's getting riled up over something he said he was gonna forget about. He's getting re-riled. Re-riled. I don't know if that's a real word. It is now. Re-riled. All of which to say, we should both sink our rage about this thing, brother. Call it Hannah Banana and shake hands on it.
You mean even Steven?
Yeah, it's even Steven, bro. So what are you gonna do now? If you don't have a place to go, you can stay here. You can be my underling. I've taken a liking to you.
No way! I don't plan to become a ship demolisher. I may have quit my crew, but I'm still a pirate.
What? You just inspired a new one. Have a listen. I call it the Pirate's Code.
Play it, bro! Come on, seriously? Are you people making fun of me? Is it true that a high tide's coming?
Yeah, Aqua Laguna. That's what they call it round here. The sidewalks in the back alleys are probably flooded already. Normally, the sea comes up to the second floor of the houses. If you were in the back alleys or out on the Cape, you wouldn't last a minute. But since your ship's here, you can relax.
Yeah, thanks. You saved me.
Shut up! I don't want your thanks!
It must be rough, getting flooded like this every year.
Well, it's just once a year and everyone's used to clearing out. What really worries a town is the ocean's water levels keeps rising every year.
It rises every year?
Yeah. You'd see if you divvied down, if you divvied. Why did I say divvied? There's no extra I in dived. You'd see if you dive down to the ocean floor, but the back alleys you see above water now are built on the roofs of the old town, the one from several hundred years ago. Way back in the past, Shipbuilding Island and the back alleys were on one complete island. Now the ocean's risen to the point where they were called the water metropolis, and all the sidewalks have become canals. And then I think Mozu speaks up.
More accurately, it isn't that the sea level's rising, it's that the island is sinking. In a few more decades, the town will become unlivable. Whoa, I never imagined that such a grim fate loomed over this beautiful water metropolis. But you know, when it gets to that point, you could just take the sea train and move somewhere else, right?
You could do that, couldn't you? At least you can now. But before the creation of the sea train, because the waters around here are so rough, it was almost impossible to even make trips between islands. It used to be. Folks on Water 7 lived in fear that the next high tide would be the one that wiped them out. And what got rid of that sense of unease was the sea train, Puffing Tom. And then I think this is Mozu speaking up again.
Now you don't even need a log. Anyone can cross the sea anytime they want to. It's like a miracle, you know?
All of that was made possible by the sea train and the genius of a shipwright named Tom. And then we cut back to the back alleys as Yanbei and his boys are getting just absolutely thrashed by Luffy.
Yeah! Bro, save me!
As Yanbei gets hit directly in the back by Lucci with finger pistol. I will tell your bro hello for you. As he just stands over the defeated and possibly dead body of Yanbei. We've got his location. Let's go. And then all four of them, Bluno, Kaku, Khalifa, they all just take off with Lucci in the direction of Frankie. And then we cut back to Frankie's secret hideout, making sure I don't miss anything. Yeah. So, my new brother, getting down to business, what are you going to do after fixing that ship?
Obviously, we're destined for even more adventures. And someday I'll go back to the East Blue, my hometown. We won't have circled the globe, but this ship's been to the Grand Line and back. It'll be close enough to qualify as a triumphant return. I'll be able to hold my head high and...
No, you won't be able to go back. Not to the East Blue. It's too far.
Bro?
When I hauled the ship here, I got a good look at that thing. That ship's done for. Galilaw's assessment was correct. As a dismantler, I'd recommend you retire her to scrap.
What are you saying? That's nonsense!
I'll help you take this ship apart.
You what? No, I won't let you do that!
See, even Frankie can see that the Mary's beyond saving and that she can't go any farther than where she is right now. At least not on the wide open ocean. And that is the end of chapter 350. Onwards to 351, but we got another SBS. Reader, did you call me? Said Zenaru. Utaku. And then we have Oda. No. Huh?
Ah, scary! It's Zenaru! Ow, 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 ow! I got zapped! Yow! Let's move on, okay?
Reader, dear Oda-sensei, the scene where Khalifa prepared tea for Mr. Iceberg was absolutely gorgeous. What does it take to become a splendid secretary and woman like Khalifa? Signed, one fan. Oda, glasses and documents. Yep, you should also say the insolence. Reader, how many Manimos is your brain, sensei? Say Einstein's brain is 273 Manimos. Signed, Fishcake. Oda, how many Manimos, you ask? Well, when you're at my level, it's Super Manimo. I sort of wish I hadn't said that now. Yeah, time for Frankie to give Usopp for some hard truths. Like, Usopp was literally the same one saying, like, we come to this island where the greatest shipwrights in the world reside, and they said the merry-go is not going to go any further. It's done for. But they don't know anything. Now, Frankie, who's an expert at dismantling ships, is saying the same thing, and Usopp's all like, what is with everyone? Why is everyone telling me that the Mary can't go any further? Reader, yay! Plunk, putting on Alfro. Oh yeah! All right! Signed, Egg. Oda, okay, next. Reader, Shimabu Mitsutoshi Shimabukuro Sensei, said he went to a hot springs resort with about 10 other manga artists near the end of last year. Did you go, Oda, or did you not? Did you miss the bus? Mun to when Thurs Fry sat. And yeah, this person is signing their names with the first part of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Oda, I went! There was snow at the hot spring and it was pretty. It was an outdoor hot spring, so I ran around in the snow naked, and I caught a cold. Several others did too. Usopp knows that. You guys just wait. Cosmopolitan, you just wait, because I'm reading these chapters for the very first time. No illusions to whether he knows these things or not, because these are my first time reading these volumes, so not even a hint about whether he truly knows that the Mary is done for or not. We all know that he's in denial. Yep, there's the rain. The storm's here. That's the end of SBS. Chapter 351, Club Bottoman. Man, did you type T-E-Te instead of time? Yeah. But I can figure out what you said, though. And then it cuts to Frankie. I'm telling you, I'll help you dismantle your ship.
That's not even funny! Bro! I'm not letting you near her! The merry-go is my ship!
No, that thing isn't a ship anymore.
Huh? What did you just say?
I asked you before, what are you gonna do after fixing that ship? If you were planning on throwing your life into the sea along with this ship, I wasn't about to get in your way. But since you say you want to go home to the East Blue on that clunker, I gotta speak up, brother. This ship won't even make it to the next shore.
Huh?
All ships, from simple skiffs to giant galleons, share a common maxim. I'll get you from this shore here to that shore there. A ship that can no longer fulfill that purpose. And it cuts to Frankie, who jumps onto the Mary.
Stop that! Hey!
Isn't a ship! And then he rips off a big old portion of the Mary. Literally rips one half of the ship off of itself. That's how much.
Stop! Bro!
And then it just shows Frankie's face and the face of the Mary, as that giant portion of the side of the boat of the ship just gets thrown off by Frankie.
You monster! Get away from the ship!
And then Usopp instantly hits Frankie with an exploding star. And then Frankie looks like he's fallen back, but he gets right back up again. But Usopp does fall back from the recoil. Why, you little... And then Frankie grabs his whole body. Mind you, Frankie's hands are very big, so he just grabs Usopp's whole body with one hand. If you won't listen to reason, take a good look. The eyes don't lie! As he throws Usopp into the ground, into the air. Throws Usopp into the air, and then just spikes him into the water. This is the moment. And then it shows Kiwi and Mozu just looking on, and then Usopp gets thrown under the water, and he's underwater, kind of bleeding, and he's left floating underneath the Mary, where he can see the keel. You know, the whole thing that even Kaku said was the main issue. We finally get to see the keel itself. And Usopp is looking at the keel, and it's like splintered. It's like massively splintered in the center of it. The only thing that's really holding it together is like a steel plate at the bottom, but it's cracked beyond where the steel plate was holding on to it. And Usopp can only tear up somehow underwater, and he knows. He knows the Mary can't go on. It's just that he's been in denial this entire time, and he couldn't accept it. But then it cuts to Usopp, who finally gets out of the water after Frankie made him see the truth for himself. And then it cuts to Usopp getting up, and he drags that portion of the ship that Frankie tore off and attached to the Mary itself. And then he tries to put it back on again. And he starts forcibly trying to fix it. But he's tearing up because he can't pretend. He can't pretend anymore. But he's still trying to go with the mindset that this isn't going to work. He's still trying to go with he's still going with the mindset that I can still fix her despite everything that's happened. And he's... I think I need to get one of those soundproof blankets because a lot of sound manages to get through my door that I don't want to get into my mic. So that's something I need to invest in for myself. But Usopp is just sniffing and crying while he hammers away onto the Mary going,
I'm sorry, Merry-Go. I'll fix you up right away, over and over, as often as I have to. I'll fix you, okay?
He's so in denial. He's so in denial that the merry-go can't go anymore. He's so stubborn with it. But Mozu and Kiwi are just crying as they're holding back tears. And then Frankie's watching on. Hey, would you knock it off already, Longnose? You saw the underside of the ship. The keel snapped. The outer hull is slipping with that snapped keel at its center, and the ribs are falling to pieces too. A hull like that will fall apart little by little with every wave that hits her. You think a rank amateur like you can hold her together? And then Usopp just drops his hammer and all of his nails. And he stares at Frankie.
I'm warning you! Shut up! I don't want you telling me anything! I don't care if you're right! I'll send you flying if you don't shut up, you loudmouth hooligan!
And then everyone's quiet. What was that?
I already knew all that stuff! I knew the merry-go was done for!
And Usopp is just crying his eyes out as he finally, openingly admits it. See, Cosmo Sapien, we were gonna get to that point.
I really, I knew. When I heard the result of the assessment, it only confirmed what I knew since that day. At first, I thought it was a bad dream. I never thought something so crazy could happen, but one night, when there shouldn't have been anyone on board, I heard the sound of someone hammering. The fog was thick, but I'm sure somebody was there. I didn't know who it was. The next morning, I discovered that some really lousy repairs had been made to the ship.
And this is going back to the events of Skypiea when they were on the sacrificial altar.
But it's no longer a flying ship, huh, Usopp? How did the guy who fixed our ship know what the merry-go looked like originally? It was all very mysterious, but for some reason those words sort of stuck in my heart. I don't know if it said them directly or if I was just imagining it.
And then a voice goes,
It's all right. I'll carry everyone a little bit farther.
And then it shows this figure who's hammering onto the Mary smiling towards Usopp during that time.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but I thought it might have been the incarnation of the merry-go! Back then, I'm sure the ship was already at its limit, and I thought maybe it appeared to let us know that. You probably think I'm crazy. You don't have to believe me.
Believe you? That guy had a wooden mallet and looked like a sailor, didn't he?
Huh? How did you know?
Well, brother, you saw Claw Botterman.
Who?
Claw Botterman. He's a legend passed down among sailors. A sprite who lives only on ships that have been truly cared for and treated well. I guess you could call him an incarnation of the ship. He holds a wooden mallet in one hand, wears a sailor's raincoat, and when misfortune befalls the ship, he runs around and warns everyone.
Huh?
Sometimes they say he saves sailors' lives, but to be honest, this is a first for me. I've never heard of anyone who's seen him before. The ship is grateful to its crew in proportion to how well they've treated it. I bet this ship really wanted to get you lot to the other shore, whatever it took to get you there. And the fact that it cared about its crew so much that it took on a human shape for that night means this ship must have been very happy indeed.
Mary! I see. So then it really was you who came and talked to me that night. Wasn't it, Mary?
If that doesn't beat everything. So you knew your ship was at its limit and you still split from your crewmates?
It isn't easy to be rational about something like that.
Guys can be so stubborn! How stupid!
And we finally get a name, Claw Botterman. But yes, it's said in German, so the B-O-U is actually B-A-U. So Claw Botterman, like Autobahn. And then Usopp is looking on, and then someone rings the bell.
Bro, sounds like we got visitors.
And then it shows Lucci and company waiting at the door, patiently waiting at the door, ringing the doorbell. And that's the end of chapter 351. Onwards to chapter 352, Tom's Workers. And then we cut back to Frankie.
Visitors? Come on, you know it can't be anybody except Zanbai and his men.
But why would they go out of their way to come in from the ocean side? Yeah, they always use the upper entrance. Maybe they brought the straw hats.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. We use Longnose here as bait to call out his former buds. They won't come. They're not my crewmates anymore. I told you that already.
Why aren't they coming in? Okay, we're coming.
Listen, brother,
Listen, as Mozu and Kiwi walk to the door where Lucci and everyone else is waiting.
Brother, listen. Go on back to your crew.
Ding, ding, ding. We said we're coming. Jeez.
I know this is not their voices in the English dub, but it is for my dramatic reading.
It's a little late for that now. I fought a duel with the captain. Besides, we haven't resolved the issue with the ship.
So what's the resolve? If you know the ship won't sail anymore, it makes things a whole lot simpler. Leave her here with me and go. I'll dispose of her in a way that'll make you happy. That's what I was trying to do a bit ago, right? Since it was obviously eating you up about thinking about it, I was going to bust up the ship for you.
No one asked you to. This is my problem.
Sure is, and I'm saying I'll solve your problem for you. Show some gratitude. Don't you get it? This is hard on the ship, too. Your merry-go light you people enough to appear in human form, right? Think about how you'd feel if your stubbornness caused it to sink in the middle of the ocean, with all of you on board. Do you really want to put this ship you love in that kind of position? I mean, come on, bro.
I love doing Frankie's voice, okay? I'm no Patrick Sates, but I love doing Frankie's voice. I really do.
Do you really want to put this ship you love in that kind of position? I mean, come on, bro!
So you're saying that if you had a friend on his deathbed, you'd say, sorry, nothing I can do, and leave?
See there? You're changing the subject again.
I'm not changing it! This is that kind of situation!
And then we cut to Mozu. And I was right. Mozu is the one with the straight haircut, while Kiwi's the one with the bumpy haircut. And Mozu comes sailing in right next to Usopp and Frankie.
Huh? Mozu!
Bro!
And before Mozu can say anything, Kiwi gets hit, and she gets sent flying directly next to Mozu as well, by a set of high heels and fishnet stockings. Lucci and company have arrived.
Who are you?
Huh?
Sorry to barge in.
Oh, this is Khalifa going,
Sorry to barge in, but the two young ladies wouldn't let us in, you see.
Lucci and company have arrived in front of Frankie.
The Gelly Lost Secretary!
Huh?
What are you freaks doing here?
And then, Frankie punches in a direction of Khalifa, but Bluno gets in the way and takes the hit.
Huh? Bluno! You too? That getup doesn't suit you. What are you doing?
And he grabs Bluno, and they both grab each other by the face, like by the necks. They have very big hands, so they can grab each other by the face and neck as well. That storm is coming down. I need to hurry up.
You ugly little... Who do you think you're messing with? Pick a fight with me, will you?
As it shows that even though Bluno is grabbing Frankie by the face, Frankie is lifting Bluno off of the ground. Mind you, Bluno is taller than Frankie, and Frankie just got him in a vice grip, holding him up in the air. I've always thought that was kind of a threatening thing to do to someone. You're holding someone, and then you hold them up off the ground. That's a way to show just how strong you are. Just like holding a person by the neck, and then you hold them off the ground. That's the ultimate in intimidation.
You uppity little... Who do you think you're messing with? Pick a fight with me, will ya?
And then it cuts to Bluno, who's preparing to use finger pistol on Frankie.
There's something different about you, barkeep. You're not your usual dimwitted self. Hey, what are you up to?
And then as Bluno's preparing to skewer Frankie, Lucci just goes, oh, come on. Stop it, Bluno. And then knocks Frankie into the distance by kicking him away. We can't kill him yet, stupid idiot. Sorry.
Huh? Hey, you're strong, aren't you? Aren't they the guys from the dry dock? What's going on?
What the heck? A guy like that did this to me? The pigeon freak from Galila, Bluno, the secretary, and even the bumpkin. What are you guys supposed to be? Some kind of super group? You picked the wrong guy to mess with. You come in here, rough up my two lovely... This is my secret base! How do you people know about this place? None of that matters. I'll be brief, so listen closely. Our identities in this city are only a cover. We are actually employed as secret agents for the world government. The government? You people? You should know what that means. You should also know what brings us here. Frankie, we know everything already. Don't try to deceive us. It will only increase our annoyance. Your real name is Cuddy Flam. You are Tom's other apprentice, the one who is supposed to have died 8 years ago. Quite the commotion going outside my room right now. Be paid no mind. Your real name is Cuddy Flam. You are Tom's other apprentice, the one who is supposed to have died 8 years ago. I have no idea how you found that out. I'm impressed, but right now I've got this weird sickened feeling in my gut.
Huh?
And then it cuts to Iceberg, in the past. It's only a matter of time until they come after me. Take that and leave this island, Frankie. Is that idiot? Is Iceberg doing well? We killed him. Lucci just casually says, we killed him. And we just see the shocked face of Frankie. And then someone going, come here, you two. I have something important I want to entrust you. From Tom to Iceberg. From Iceberg to you. You pass that thing down. Our long strategy has finally reached checkmate. The blueprints for the world's most terrible battleship. The ancient weapon Pluton. Hand them over, Frankie. And then Frankie's just standing there as we see flashback images of a young Iceberg.
Flam? That's a weird name. Frankie's fine, right?
Anything's fine. Anything's fine. Did you hear me? I said hand it over, Cuddy Flam. I've got nothing to give you people. And then Frankie shoots out his arm. You know, the same rocket punch chain arm he had before. But Lucci dodges out of the way. And then Lucci speeds over past Frankie while his arm is still extended with a slight grin on his face as he prepares to injure Frankie. And he hits Frankie with a full rising palm, knocking Frankie completely back and pretty much knocking him out. And then as Frankie's eyes close and he loses consciousness, Lucci basically just beats on him over and over and then sends him flying into the adjacent wall.
Huh? What just happened? I couldn't see a thing! He was too fast! Hey! Hey, you! You okay?
Goes Usopp to Frankie, and Frankie is just bodied after getting thrown through an entire wall.
What's wrong, Lucci?
Well, well, what have we here? And it cuts into like a secret room. It cuts into like a secret room that's been hidden in the wall that Frankie got knocked into. A drafting room. The perfect place to hide a blueprint. Start searching. And then it cuts to Bluno. Look, a nameplate. Cuddy Flam. Iceberg. Tom. And then Frankie gets up. Don't touch those. You can't just stomp right over people's memories with your boots on. This is where we were raised, the shipbuilding company Tom's workers. The warehouse is falling to pieces, but the best shipbuilder in the world used to work here. And we have Tom's workers. And we got a young Iceberg. We have what appears to be a young Frankie. We got that frog we seen earlier on before we even got to Water 7. And what looks to be Kokoro in the back, because she has that same old smiling face and this big, appears to be fish man that may in fact be Tom. And that is the end of chapter 352. Onwards to 353, the legendary shipwright. And the clouds and storms continue to howl as Aqua Laguna makes its way closer and closer to Water 7. I see. This dingy warehouse was the headquarters for the former shipbuilding company Tom's workers.
A shipbuilding company?
As it shows an unconscious Mozu and Kiwi. Tom, Iceberg, Cuddy Flam. This place must be full of happy memories from your shipbuilding days, eh, Frankie? Calling it your secret base is really rather cute of you.
Shut up! Hurry up and get out of here!
Not until we get what we've come for. Shipwright Cuddy Flam. The blueprint isn't here! Well, I suppose we couldn't expect any other answer from you, Khalifa.
Right.
Hey!
And Khalifa speeds past Frankie and wraps him up in that same thorny whip that she used to beat up on a lot of the Galley Law employees when they were searching out for Luffy and everyone else in order to protect Iceberg. And he gets wrapped up in this thorny whip.
Gah, that's smart!
Ah! Yeah, what should I do?
You freaks!
As Frankie just stares down Lucci. We don't really need an answer out of you right away, you know. We have a trump card. It's been 8 years now, but Cuddy Flam, it appears you've committed a crime. Just like Tom did.
Don't give me that! Mr. Tom wasn't a criminal! You creep!
Mr. Tom!
Don't talk about it like you could understand!
And then Lucci just kicks Frankie. And mind you, he's kicking Frankie while he has this thorny whip wrapped around him. So imagine having a very sharp thorny whip being wrapped up in sharp rope and then someone kicking you, causing that rope to just, go into you a little bit more. It's gotta hurt. As a criminal, you must realize the road you're starting down.
Frankie, don't interfere.
Mr. Tom!
Just how well do you people know Water 7?
And then it cuts back to someone crying. Ah! Water 7, the city of water 22 years ago. And it shows something exploding out on the ocean. And... Ah! Cuddy Flam, Frankie, at age 12.
You freak! Eat this! It isn't working at all! Dang it! I'm gonna get eaten!
As this giant sea centipede is chasing after Frankie on the Battle 8 Frankie, like his own makeshift ship. And he crashes into Water 7, apparently. And he lands, and then we see a big old knot on top of Frankie's head. And we get a young Iceberg! What do you think you're doing? One of these days you're gonna get yourself killed! And anyway, you're supposed to be helping Mr. Tom, not building these rattle traps. Iceberg, age 16.
Shut up! It's got nothing to do with you, stupid Berg. They're all my precious battleships. They're battle Frankies.
I don't care what you call them. Just throw them all away before someone gets hurt. Somebody gets hurt.
I can leave them lying around if I want to. This is Scrap Heap Island. Just you wait. Next time I'm gonna build a ship that'll beat a Neptunian.
Oh my, you're joking, right? Some Neptunians are as big as islands. They'll gulp you down They'll gulp you right down. And then it shows something massive. Someone carrying this massive ship. Just like carrying it over them. And they're all shadowed.
Hey, real men, do it with a boom!
And this individual throws this ship in the air. And it needs its flag posts, set in. And this person just chucks these flag posts directly into the holes of where they need to be on the ship while it's still airborne. And then the ship lands in the water perfectly.
Perfect. Launching ceremony complete. We've made a good, sturdy ship with a boom. Isn't that right, Yokozuna?
Ghetto!
let's put the finishing touches on her tomorrow, eh? Tom, long-horned cowfish fishman, president of Tom's Workers Shipbuilding Company. In the anime, it was do it with a don, like a don sound. I mean, for us, it can be translated to a boom sound. Some things just don't translate exactly when it goes from Japanese to English because of the whole, translation thing. Tom, longhorn cowfish fishman, president of Tom's Workers Shipbuilding Company. And Yokozuna, sumo frog, Tom's pet. Water 7, in front of the warehouse under the bridge. Scrap Heap Island, Tom's Workers Shipbuilding lot. All right, let's go home. We'll hand the ship over with a boom to the customer sometime tomorrow. I'm hungry. Dinner! Tom's Workers headquarters. What model Battle Frankie is this one? Also known as the warehouse under the bridge. Number 8! Number 8!
I was so close.
You're a liar, moron key. Just because Mr. Tom lets you do this doesn't mean you should get all full of yourself. I gotta remember this dude is 16, needs to have a younger voice. Just because Mr. Tom lets you do this doesn't mean you should get all full of yourself. All you make are weapons. Moronki, he says.
You're gonna hurt yourself laughing so much, Mr. Tom. What's so funny anyway?
Kokoro, Tom's Workers' beautiful secretary. And it's beautiful is kind of in parentheses a little bit. Yeah, beautiful secretary is in parentheses. Because Kokoro, even back then when she was tall and shapely, she still had that same old face. And in the English dub, it was do it with gusto. I can believe it.
You're gonna hurt yourself laughing so much, Mr. Tom. What's so funny anyway? Come to think of it, I hear another merchant ship carrying a load of lumber was attacked by pirates. The number of pirates has grown remarkably since the Pirate King was executed. I hate to say it, but this town is done for. It's being swallowed up by this age of pirates.
As she's passing out food to Yokozuna, Frankie, and everybody else. And then Frankie and Iceberg are silent.
It's a bad state of affairs. Because of the Aqua Laguna floods, this city has to get its timber and iron from other islands. Dangerous seas and ever-increasing pirate attacks are hindering trade. Since there isn't enough work, shipyards steal each other's customers and start fights, and folks lose their jobs. If things keep going like this, Water 7 will become nothing more than an island of scallywags, just waiting to sink. And this is the Water 7 that long ago defined an entire era in the shipbuilding industry.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Tom, you built the awesomest pirate ship, the awesomest pirate ship ever, didn't you? Tell me about the blueprints for this pirate ship.
Mr. Tom, you're laughing too much again.
Frankie, there's no such thing as blueprints for a pirate ship. If the sailors who board that ship run up a skull and crossbones, then it's a pirate ship. If they fly a seagull flag, it's a navy ship. Build whatever you want to build, Frankie. Just remember, real men puff out their chests with pride. Boom! Over the ships they've built. And it cuts to Tom when he's up with Frankie and he's creating a ship.
Aren't you gonna sleep? What are you drawing, Mr. Tom?
Oh, this is just the island's last hope. It would be great if Water 7 could use this to get a new lease on life. And it's Tom who's just drawing up the blueprints of a ship. And then Iceberg is silently listening in as he's laying down in the distance.
The government's judicial ship is here! What's a judicial ship?
It's a floating courthouse. Who've they come to judge? Open the way!
Now wait a minute. What has Mr. Tom done? Give Mr. Tom back, people!
It's all right. Don't worry.
Mr. Tom!
And then it shows Tom in court. So, you finally came, did you? It was bound to happen.
Oh, so you finally came, did you? It was bound to happen.
You're causing trouble all over the world. There's no help for that. You built the Oro Jackson, the pirate ship used by Pirate Gold Roger, who was executed the other day. That fact makes you an accomplice to a global criminal. The shipbuilding engineer Tom will be conveyed to Ennie's lobby, where he will be executed. So, we get the name of Roger's ship, the Oro Jackson. Can I just say that in terms of all the ships that you'll hear in One Piece, a ship called the Oro Jackson, that's just a cool name. The Oro Jackson. It's a cool name. Get everything loaded on the Jackson. Like that's cool. That's cool to say. Where are you going? I'm going to eat with Roger on the Jackson. Or, oh, did you hear what was in the port yesterday? The Oro Jackson. And just like, I honestly feel like Jackson is one of those words that just sound cool overall. Just Jackson. Oro Jackson. Michael Jackson. Jackson. I'm sorry. The shipbuilding engineer Tom will be conveyed to Ennie's lobby, where he will be executed. And that is the end of chapter 353. We move on to 354, but we got an SBS. Reader! Hello, Oda-sensei. I am the president of the Japanese Association of Healthy Boys. Present membership 1. Himself. Richie Usapon. I have something I would like to ask you, Oda-sensei, or rather to ask Sanji. Please tell me why did I think Nami? Please tell me Robin's measurements. I'm really, truly, desperately serious. I sense he's far more desperate than anything, than just desperately serious. Reader, hello Oda-sensei, in volume 36, you said Nami's gotten curvier than she was before. In that case, what are Nami's measurements now? I was literally joking about Nami's measurements. I thought it was a slip of the tongue, but this person's really asking. You said, in that case, what are Nami's measurements now? I'm very sure all the guys in the country are dying to know this, so please give us a straight answer. I'm not big on that sort of thing, like measurements. So don't count me in that. Signed, Saru no Putaro. And then, Oda, honestly, what are you people? Are you all measurement explorers or something? Honestly, I get a lot of these questions. There's no end to them. So fine, I'll just settle the whole thing here. Firmly. Come on out, Mr. Cook. Sanji, do not tease me like that. Well, I do understand the situation. Leave it to me. According to my scope, their measurements are as follows. 37 for Nami, 37.4, 21.7, and then 33.5, with a height of 5 feet and 5 inches. So I'm taller than Nami. And then Robin with going from top to bottom, 39, 23, 55, with a height of 6'2". She's literally an inch taller than my dad, because my dad is 6'1". So she's taller, just slightly taller than my dad. Yowza! Awesome! Fascinating, huh? Oda! Ah! It's Nami! Run away! And then it cuts to Oda running away. And then Sanji going, oh, Nami! And then Nami going,
you don't have to publish everything!
And then hits Sanji over the head. Again, not normal. Inches. Pfft. Okay, Kohagen. We're not going down this road with you again. We're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. This is how it's said in America. We go by inches and pounds, not kilograms and centimeters. That's our default.
It will never change!
Sorry if we do not use the king's measurements over there across the pond, but we use inches and pounds as our main crux of measurements here. Chapter 354, Sea Train.
Tom's going to be executed for the crime of building the Pirate King's ship?
And then Tom isn't saying anything, with Frankie and Tom going,
Mr. Tom!
And then the judge is going, normally, a shipwright may sell his ships to whoever he pleases without that sale being a crime. However, the Pirate King is an exception.
Anyone deemed to have supported his piracy, however slightly, is a traitor and menace. Death is the only fitting punishment. Escort the criminal out.
Yes, sir!
Right now, I am designing a steam engine paddle ship that will run, boom, across the ocean on rails.
You, prisoner, what are you saying?
This island is dying. The lack of trade is largely to blame. On top of that, the locals live in constant fear of their island sinking. The initiation of the sea train route will open trade and lift spirits. It will save Water 7.
Do they use the metric system in Britain too? I have no idea. I don't know.
It will save Water 7.
Sorry for the interruption, sir. We'll escort the criminal out right away.
No, wait a moment. A sea train? From island to island, a ship that sends up smoke and runs on ocean rails. It will carry passengers, freights, and boats. It won't be dependent on the weather. Anyone will be able to cross the sea freely.
Quit blabbering your daydreams. You're embarrassing all us shipwrights. What about the Neptunians and the Aqua Laguna tides?
The tracks
will break and your big plan will sink.
The ocean rails won't be stabilized. They'll float gently, a little below the surface. They won't resist the waves. The sea train will only use the rails as a guide, as though it were pulling itself along a rope. It won't need a log either. I'm working on a mechanism that will fit between the rails and the paddles, and give off of a discordant sound to drive away the fish when the train passes. If we have that, the Neptunians will hate the rail too and won't come near them.
Can you
Actually do something like that?
The routes will connect us to the islands of St. Poplar, Pucci, and San Faldo. If we link these, we'll be able to develop all the islands' trade and industry.
And the citizen is going,
How wonderful!
The blueprint is almost done, but building it isn't a task for just any old shipwright. Could you run it to Annie's lobby as well?
Your Honor!
I can.
And then all of the Navy officials are just silent.
When I complete this technology with a boom, and it finally crosses the ocean, the trade routes of all the islands throughout the world will change. The sea train is the hope of Water 7.
And then there's just silence.
How many years will it take? 10. Then build it. To allow completion of the sea train project, we grant shipbuilding engineer Tom a 10-year stay of execution.
Go! Go for it, Tom!
Boom! I survived!
And then it cuts to Tom, who's just chilling with his crew.
It's nothing to laugh about, Mr. Tom. I thought your time had come. I felt my blood freeze in my veins, I did. Well, but now, if all goes well, it looks as though they'll forget about the Roger incident.
That's just like you, Mr. Tom. Thinking up something that awesome. Your sea train bowled everyone over.
Thanks for the food! Come on, Yokozuna! I'll teach you the forward crawl! Get off!
Hey, Frankie, what's with you? You've been sulking by yourself for a while now. And then it cuts to Frankie.
Shut up! I'm mad at everything! Gold Roger's ship circled the Grand Line. It's the only ship of its kind in the whole world. It's completely amazing and Mr. Tom made it. So why does he have to be executed for it? All the other people were acting like it was only natural too, and those idiots couldn't even build a raft. I know why the company's here under the bridge. The townspeople chased you here because of Roger's ship. Why should the best shipwright in the world have to put up with stuff like this? What's so funny, you pointed-headed fatso?
Moranki, you can't talk to the boss that way.
And I can't forgive him for being like this.
And then it cuts to Frankie later on, with Frankie teaching Yokozuna, the swimming crawl, the forward crawl. You should just chase that idiot out. I hate him.
Don't say that. He's a co-worker. We build ships together. True, he's got a big mouth, and the things he builds are shaky, but he's young, and he's already a better shipwright than half the workers on this island. 2 years ago, I couldn't believe it when that snot-nosed kid appeared with a boom on Scraphead Island and proceeded to build a cannon out of rubbish.
Mister, take me in! I got thrown out of my house.
And this is when he first met Frankie.
When I asked, he said his parents tossed him overboard because he was an unmanageable brat. Apparently, they were some no-good pirates. Priceless,
Mr. Tom,
Goes Kokoro.
but the kid was a fighter, eh? In spite of all that, he's held it together. Someday, the two of you will definitely become shipbuilders whose names will mean something in the world. Try to get along.
Frankie will never manage that. He's a nutso on a cellular level.
Now then, as soon as the blueprint is done, we'll start working on the sea train.
Yeah, there's no way he'll help out.
Frankie's free to do as he wants.
And then it's just a massive montage as the blueprints for the sea train are made. Tom and Iceberg are getting lumber together and putting everything together they need in order to build it. And while that's happening, Frankie keeps building his new battleships, his Battle Frankie, including one called Battle Frankie number 9. But Iceberg and Tom are not paying him any mind because they're just focused on the sea train. And then it gets to a point where Frankie starts to kind of get closer and closer to Tom and Iceberg, and he actually starts helping them make the sea train itself. Moments where Frankie and Iceberg are building the rails, and Tom is defending them from sharks. It's just a silent, wordless, endless montage as Frankie and everyone keeps working on the sea train and trying to figure out how to make it stay so it doesn't, flip off of the rails because of the waves. And they keep working on it throughout the seasons. 10 years after the sea train began production, difficulties with trade and the rising sea level
I just want to die! Stop, don't be an idiot!
continued to isolate the island. People were losing heart.
He tried to kill himself? He was the president of the number 4 shipbuilding company. It's probably because of that accident last month. They had no material, so he sent his own ships out to buy lumber and lost 50 men at sea. The dry dock is closed, too.
Tragic. This island's done for. Stores are going out of business, one after another. The ground is sinking. We can't even support ourselves. Humans sure are weak.
And then it cuts to a mom talking to her child going,
you mustn't go outside, you hear? There are pirates prowling around.
and this child is just crying. Hey, there's something coming from Scrap Heap Island!
Tom's workers! Have they completed the sea train? Can it really run? A ship like this? It's not safe! A criminal built that boat! I'll ride it! Me too! Tom, come out! Don't we get an explanation?
And then it cuts to Kokoro, who's, 10 years older.
We're setting sail! All aboard!
This happened 12 years ago. And it shows the sea train moving.
It moved! The paddles are gripping the tracks!
Here, for the first time, as we see the smiling faces of the people of Water 7 back then, in the city suffocating in isolation, the people got aboard, and the sea train puffing Tom crossed the ocean, much to the praise and celebration of everyone, including Iceberg, Tom, Yokozuna, and Frankie. And all we get from this chapter is the puffing Tom going across the ocean with a toot toot. And that is the end of chapter 354. Onwards to chapter 355, Spandam. Tom's workers, who had succeeded in opening the sea train during the 10-year stay of execution, completed the remaining 3 tracks over the next 4 years.
There's a lumber delivery from St. Poplar! Did the bargaining go well?
Still no good. They know we ain't got no supply, so they got us over a barrel. It's the same with the iron. First San Faldo, they make it first from it's the same with the iron from San Faldo. They make it so expensive. In the end, the shipbuilding lot's in the red. We've got to do something. Execution or acquittal? The question would come around again in 3 days' time. Tom waited for the judicial ship's verdict. And then it cuts to Iceberg. Everyone's overjoyed at being able to cross the ocean. And this is 10 years later, so he's like 26 now. Everyone's overjoyed at being able to cross the ocean. But apparently trade with other islands still isn't going well. Even this wasn't enough to change the city.
Humans are resilient. Results won't come right away, Iceberg. Once they've done all they're able to, men can puff out their chests with a boom.
Yeah. And then individuals start walking up to Tom.
Huh?
A good day to you. It is you, isn't it? The shipbuilding engineer, Mr. Tom. Have I ever been looking for you? Excuse me, but, I would like to have a talk with you. And this person says this, excuse me, but, and then something comes in and hits this individual from the back. I would like to have a talk with you. And this individual gets hit with a cannonball. Spandam. Cipher Pole number 5, Chief Officer.
I am Spandam from Cypherpole number 5! Mr. Spandam! Whoa, my bad. Don't know who that was, but my victory salute hit him. And, super! I bagged a Neptunian! Battle Frankie 35 returning to base. Check it out, it's humongous. This monster's gotta be 100 meters long.
That idiot just won't give up. How many times are you gonna make me say it? You're wasting your time and endangering others with these stupid battleships. Well, today's the day. If you can't do it, I'll dispose of all of them for you.
Stop it, you jerk, idiot Berg.
Well, listen up, Frankie. You killed the Neptunian, didn't you? That's some serious firepower, and you're letting all these weapons of yours pile up. I have no idea what goes on in your head.
It's not like I'm using them to attack people.
I'm not talking about your intent. I'm questioning your responsibility in bringing these weapons into existence, moron key. Mr. Tom, you say something to him. This guy's a blot on our company. Hold it right there. First, I'd like a proper apology. Then I'd like you to listen to what I have to say. CP5, along with Spandam.
You're from the government, aren't you? Is this about the trial?
Huh? What trial? No, I don't know anything about that, but... And then it cuts to Kokoro and Iceberg and Frankie walking into a building with Yokozuna, with Yokozuna.
Where's Tom? Where's Mr. Tom?
He said they were going to talk privately. He's in the brick storehouse with some guy from the government. What was it again?
Spend something or other. Spend something or other.
A government guy who doesn't know about the trial? That lot sure is uncoordinated.
No idea. I don't have any blueprints for anything like that.
Enough of your lies. I came to you humbly and you pretend you know nothing. We've already investigated the history of Water 7. It has to be here. If you won't talk, then we'll tear this place apart until we find it.
Do you have a warrant?
A warrant? Let me tell you, Tom. I've done a little digging into your past. You built Gold Roger's ship. You're a criminal conspirator. You'll let us search or we'll turn you in to the government.
Is that all you've got? The government already knows all that.
What? Nonsense! Then why are you still working as a shipwright? Why haven't you been arrested?
You're a secret agent. Investigate it yourself. Later.
And then he just tosses out Spandam. He's all like, do you have a warrant? We don't need it. We'll tell the world government about how you build Gold Roger's ship.
They already know it. Anything else?
What? Then how are you still working?
You're a secret agent. You figure it out. Get out.
I love how casual Tom is with this.
Hey, wait! I'm not finished yet! Don't you know who you're dealing with?
CP5, you explained to me already.
Sorry, I added that in. Then it cuts to Spandam drinking in a bar.
That's right. Tom's fulfilled his promise to the judicial ship, you see? They'll probably pardon his crime at the trial in 3 days. He's a great man, Tom is. What? He was mixed up with Roger. That's a high crime and they're pardoning it? You've got to be kidding me. So it did exist after all.
Yes. Of course there are pirates nosing around after this blueprint as well. If it happened to get handed over to someone other than the government would have no way to compete.
And then it shows the Godo. Oh, it's the Godosei. It's the Godosei.
More than 10 years have passed since the curtain rose on this so-called great age of pirates, and the pirates only grow in strength, increasing in number before our very eyes. It's not enough to merely keep the ancient weapon from reactivating. We fly the banner of justice. We must have the strongest weapons in the world at our disposal.
We will possess the ancient weapon and bring this age of piracy to a crashing halt!
And this is Spandam saying all of this to the Godosei, to the 5 elders.
It's more than 10 years have passed since the curtain rose on this so-called great age of pirates, and the pirates only grow in strength, increasing in number before our very eyes. It's not enough to merely keep the ancient weapon from reactivating. We fly the banner of justice. We must have the strongest weapons in the world at our disposal. We will possess the ancient weapon and bring this age of piracy to a crashing halt.
And then one of these members, whose name doesn't appear quite yet, goes,
He does have a point, but...
You talk big, Spandam, but action speaks louder than words. Find the blueprints, then we'll talk about how to use them.
Very well, we're putting you in charge of this matter, Spandam.
Yes, sir.
And then it cuts to Spandam, who's just throwing a hissy fit around town as he knocks on a ladder that had some paint on it.
I spent too much time planning this operation. There's no way I'll let you screw it up now. This criminal can't get off the hook. He has to be convicted!
And as he says this, Spandam has a can of paint falls on Spandam's head and just covers it in it.
A pardon? Not on my watch. Just you wait, you cocky little... Hey!
Yes?
Call in 5 more secret agents.
And then it cuts to Spandam, who, at this time, slips and falls into the water. Mr. Spandam! This Spandam dude's a klutz, isn't he?
Iceberg! Frankie!
Hmm?
Come here, you two. I have something important I want to entrust to you.
And then it cuts to Frankie and Iceberg, who look at something. Why would anyone build something like this?
Can humans really build this thing?
That's the most dangerous beast in the history of shipbuilding. The government has realized the existence of this blueprint and has started to move. It's too dangerous for me to have it any longer.
It's scary, but I understand. I'll accept it.
Awesome! Hey, Iceberg, let's try making...
See, I'm taken aback by the fact that Frankie wants to build this.
Awesome! Hey, Iceberg, let's try making this thing.
You idiot! Would you think a little before you talk? I'll take charge of this. Don't you get it yet? If something like this were brought into the world...
Right. The world would be destroyed. But it's up to you two what to do with that now. If things get risky, you can just throw it away if you want. While I'm at it, let me tell you about one more of my worries.
And then Tom puts up a wanted poster of Robin. 3 days later.
Hey, wait a minute.
The day of the judgment.
Hey, Frankie!
What?
Ugh. And then something goes flying in Frankie's face, and it's a pair of pants.
If you go into town in your teeny swim trunks, you'll set off another pervert alarm.
Shut up. I'm just going shopping. I can't believe we're celebrating just because some idiots declared the boss innocent. Mr. Tom was innocent to begin with. Mr. Tom was innocent to begin with, people.
Okay, Mr. Tom Iceberg, wake up. Today's the trial. Hurry and go get yourself judged.
As it cuts to Iceberg and Tom, who are just laying down. And then it cuts to the judicial ship. The judicial ship is here! They'll pass judgment on Tom!
Your Honor, have you seen the sea train? I've ridden it once, yes. It materialized brilliantly, didn't it? From idea to reality. Nobody will have any complaints over his being pardoned now.
The judge is even looking forward to pardoning Tom because of his contributions to humanity. He's even looking forward to proclaiming him innocent.
Wow, that takes me back. Has it been 14 years already?
And Frankie walks into the judicial ship, but we don't see Tom there.
Isn't Tom here yet?
And then as he's looking, the judicial ship gets blown up.
Huh?
An attack!
What is it?
Pirates?
They're bombarding from somewhere.
Get off of the ship!
Over there! What are those ships?
It's a fleet of battleships. What are those?
And all of these battleships belong to Frankie. All of these battleships that open fire on the judicial ship all belong to Frankie. And Frankie can only look on in utter terror.
Huh?
We're being attacked by ships I've never seen before!
What are those ships? They're bristling with weapons!
Help me! My son's under there!
Help get the injured to the hospital! Hurry!
Why? Who is it?
Who's using my ships?
Mr. Tom, this is bad! Frankie's ships from Scrap Heap Island are attacking the judicial ship!
Hold on. That can't be Frankie. He just went into town.
I know that. He may be stupid, but he'd never do something like this. That's what makes this so bad.
Pirates or the government? Help me stop them, Iceberg.
Right! As both Tom and Iceberg dive into the water to go stop the ships.
Get away from the ship!
As we see the judicial ship still burning.
You jerk! Who are you? I'll never forgive you!
And then it cuts to Spandam, who's watching all of this go on.
Now, let the trial begin, Tom's workers.
And that is the end of chapter 355. Onwards to chapter 356, but before that, another SBS. Reader, hello, Ora-chan. Are Kiwi and Mozu's hairstyles natural, or are they man-made styles born as a result of a perfective, groovy fashion sense? Also, I'd really love to see the two of them in profile. Thank you. Signed, Afro Zorro, equals National Monument. Oda, yeah, of course they're there. Of course they're there to look snazzy. The name of this hairstyle is square. Pronounce it as though you were saying square, please. Okay, so it's a square hairstyle. Ready, said, square! Right, relax your shoulders, speak more lazily. Square. And then it shows Mozu and Kiwi profile, and their hair is literally just, it's not like a big afro back and you just never see that side profile, because I don't think we ever see Kiwi and them looking from the side. But from the side, their hair are just perfectly perpendicular, going upwards from the back of their heads, just upwards, like a billboard, and their faces out the front of it, kinda. Reader, Orachi, don't say anything, please just accept this. Wump, a huge backlog of homework. So that's how it is, and thanks. And this person just stomps off. Sign, Ijimaku. And then Oda. Okay, homework. I'll do my best. 16 divided by 4 is 16 fourths. 999 divided by 9 is 999 nines. Wow, I'm pretty good at this stuff, huh? Division's my specialty, see? Math is absolutely my worst possible subject ever. I was never really good at math. But I can shoot a person through some trees in a video game, though. I'll keep going and solve all the problems like this. Scribble, scribble, scribble. 1 hour later. Scribble, scribble, scribble. 3 hours later. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Crunch, 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 crunch. Oops. That's no good. I mistakenly ate a pickle. Ugh, homework. Scribble, 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 scribble. Khalifa. Ah, no, not good. I accidentally turned into the beautiful secretary. Hey, don't shove your homework off on me. Wildly successful delayed comeback. And this is as far as the question corner goes. We're done! See you next volume. Time for chapter 356, Mr. Tom. And it just shows the judicial ship still burning.
Evacuate! The judicial ship is under attack!
Get away from the port!
My father's still on that ship! Don't delay! Get inland!
The mast is falling! Look out! Your Honor, please hurry! This ship won't hold any longer!
Who are they?
It's a whole fleet!
Hey, what is that? Wait, I've seen those ships before.
Huh?
And it cuts to secret agents working on the ship hiding themselves.
The judicial ship is sinking. Excellent. Let's pull back to Scrap Heap Island. As Mr. Spandam says, we must make sacrifices for justice.
Hate Spandam.
Those are my precious battle Frankies!
I don't care what you call them. Throw all those away before somebody gets hurt.
Dang it! Who's behind this? Who's using my ships for their dirty deeds?
As citizens are running away. You hated math, but for some reason you was good at algebra. See, I'm not good at every facet of math. Don't ask me to do fractions or anything of that nature, or algebra or anything high grade on when it comes to math, because it's never been my strong suit. But it cuts to the citizens running away, and then Iceberg. Mr. Tom, the ships are coming back this way.
They've sure made an awful use of them.
They're close to the shore. Looks like we should be able to catch them.
2 people are running this way from Scrap Heap Island. That's Tom! Get away from the ships!
As these secret agents of Spandam dive away in order to not be seen.
What's this?
There's no one on board.
Same thing over here. None of the ships are manned.
Oh my, what's going on? Huh? Those are Frankie's battleships too, as it cuts to 2 battleships that are pointing in the direction of Iceberg and Tom.
Iceberg, look out!
As they fire directly onto Iceberg. And then we just see the smiling, evil face of Spandam watching all of this happen. And then we cut to Frankie, who speeds towards Scrap Heap Island.
Huh? Iceberg! Mr. Tom! The battle Frankies, too. They're all messed up. Hey, you two! What's the matter? Are you alive? What happened?
And it cuts to Iceberg, who gets up, and he's bloodied, and he gets up, and before Frankie can go, Iceberg punches Frankie in the face. You idiot! Those secret agents, the ones who came to visit before, they took control of your battleships.
They did this to you guys? With my battleships?
I told you. How many times did I tell you? I don't understand how you can leave dozens of these things lying around.
They used my battleships to hurt Mr. Tom.
'Cause while Iceberg is able to get up just fine, Tom is still laying on the ground with a long pole sticking directly into his chest, and he's not moving. I'm questioning your responsibility in bringing these weapons into existence, Moronki. Don't you get it? When you bring a weapon into this world, you have to take responsibility. It doesn't matter if you're the one who pulls the trigger. They still have the power to hurt someone, and that someone could be a person you love. We've been had by the government. We'll be set up as the criminals who attacked a judicial ship. They want the blueprint, so they did what they had to make sure Mr. Tom is branded a criminal. Stop dodging responsibility. Can't you see that you're partially to blame for this mess? If Mr. Tom gets taken away by those guys, I am never going to forgive you as long as I live, Frankie! And Iceberg says this with tears in his eyes. And then Frankie starts getting teary-eyed. And then it gets to Tom, who's pipes up and goes,
Stop it.
Mr. Tom!
You mustn't blame him, Iceberg. It's not Frankie's fault.
You're still saying that? After all this? Mr. Tom, I'm sorry. I made this harpoon. It's made so that it'll go in but not come out.
Ugh. And then Frankie, realizing that he may have mortally injured Tom, just winces at the destruction he basically wrought with his creations.
Don't apologize. It doesn't hurt. It's not even a scratch.
And then we get the citizens. Over there! Look! Over there! Tom's on the ground! Wasn't this their doing? Why are they injured? It's the guys from town.
Well now, what have we here? An awfully suspicious bunch, don't you think? Spend 'em, you son of a sea witch! Spanda, you son of a sea witch!
It's Spandam. Don't you forget it, criminals. These are the attackers. As Spandam basically just takes Iceberg, Tom, and Frankie around the citizens. Never fear, people. After the attack, we of the CP5 captured them. They won't harm anyone ever again. If he had just waited for the trial, he would have been declared innocent. Why would Tom do something like this?
So, he really was the Pirate King's comrade after all.
A pleasure to meet you. We came to investigate the suspicious activity ourselves.
You were here by coincidence, were you? Thank you. You've saved us.
Just try to get out of this, Tom. It's the word of an indicted criminal against a trusted government agent. I'll have the ancient weapon blueprint in no time.
As Spandam just smiles to himself because he thinks he's won.
Get How can this be happening?
Because they don't know about Kokoro and Yokozuna. And then they have the trial directly right there in front of the whole crowd.
First, let us consider the matter of the sea train. It was a brilliant invention. There's no other way to put it. I will continue to contribute to the betterment of Water 7 and the surrounding islands. It will continue to contribute to the betterment of Water 7 and the surrounding islands. Of this I have no doubt. Because of that, it was almost certain that the previous crime of building Gold Roger's pirate ship would be pardoned today. And yet, you compounded your crimes. Why?
You gotta be kidding me! We weren't the ones who attacked the judicial ship. It was that idiot Spandam over there.
Huh?
And then everyone starts laughing at Frankie. What's that apprentice of Tom saying? And then Spandam starts laughing. And then the citizens are going, does he honestly expect us to believe that CP5 would attack the judicial boat? They're both in the government. That's crazy talk. Because we all know that you can completely trust your government. They would never do anything to harm you. Right? You said your name was Cuddy Flam. To begin with, we caught you and your associates on the ships red-handed. And those rogue ships were built by your company, were they not?
I didn't build them for that. After what they did, they're not my ships anymore!
And then it cuts to Frankie. No, it cuts to Frankie as it cuts to Frankie screaming this. And then Tom opens his eyes, snaps off the chains because, you know, he's a fish man. Regular chains don't work on him. And he punches Frankie in the face, sending him flying.
Ah! Tom pulled his handcuffs apart!
Take aim!
Mr. Tom, he's never hit Frankie before.
What was that for?
Not my ships, Frankie! That's the one thing you must never say.
What's wrong with saying that? I regret making them. If it weren't for those ships, nobody would have gotten hurt.
There's nothing good and nothing bad in building a ship, no matter what kind of ship it is. I don't care what kind of ships you build from now on.
And he just pulls the harpoon. You know, the same harpoon that Frankie said was built to make it so that you can't pull it out. He just pulls it out of his body.
I don't care what kind of ships you build from now on. But no matter who gets injured by the ships you build, even if it looks like they'll destroy the world, you're the one who gave them life. You at least have to love them. The one who created them must not deny them. Don't blame the ships. Men should puff out their chests with pride and a boom over the ships they build.
And then it cuts to Frankie, who's just teary-eyed, as the judge looks on in amazement, and so does Spandam. And then everyone else is just looking on, as all of the Navy individuals, all the Navy soldiers are taking aim, including CP5, are taking aim at Tom.
Iceberg, Frankie, no matter what, don't interfere with what's about to happen.
And that, ooh. I'm getting chills, okay? I'm getting chills by how good this story is. Watching anime, the anime is everything, is one thing. Getting this story from word of mouth and clips you've seen on YouTube, that's another thing entirely. But to read these chapters, and you get so immersed in it that you get that raw emotion. I'm just in it. But that's the end of chapter 356. Onwards to the last chapter of this volume, chapter 357, Cutty Flam.
Get away from the board! Tom's turned violent!
And they're only doing that because he punched Frankie and he took his harpoon out, and everyone's just jumping to conclusions without understanding the situation. Then we cut to Frankie. We cut to Iceberg, the judge, and Spandam.
It's agents of the world government who framed us, and agents of the same organization who are deciding my fate. There's no way we'll be cleared of this suspicion. This is the end of the line. It breaks my heart to see the innocent ships you've built used for something like this. How much it must hurt you, Frankie. You want to punch this guy, don't you? You want to punch this guy, don't you?
And then Tom takes this opportunity to deck Spandam with unbelievable force. And then hits Spandam directly in the face, breaking his face and a lot of his teeth.
Tom started to rampage! Mr. Tom!
Mr. Tom, please stop! They can't prove anything yet, but if you start getting violent,
Get out! What in the world?
Do you understand? Do you understand his pain?
and then Spandam just screams out,
Fire! Fire!
and all of the Navy soldiers, including the CP5 agents, just open fire on Tom right then and there.
Mr. Tom! Mr. Tom!
And then Tom gets shot by all these bullets, but he's still standing.
Tranquilizer bullets.
Serves you right, mighty fishman. Mr. Tom, why are you doing this? Hey, you! What are you doing? Hurry up and restrain him! And round up the rest of the Tom's workers' cronies. They're all going to Annie's lobby.
I never knew Tom was such a dangerous guy.
What in the world is he thinking?
I knew he'd sold his soul to the pirates. You didn't know anything, you just assumed. Building so many battleships, he was just waiting for a chance like this. Traitors! How can you talk?
Traitors! How can you talk like that about Mr. Tom?
Stop it. It's all right, Frankie.
But...
Your Honor, I claim full responsibility for attacking the judicial ship.
Huh? Wait, Mr. Tom, stop!
But I have one favor to ask.
Yeah, right, idiot fishman. Who's going to listen to a criminal's request?
Be quiet, CP5. Be quiet, CP5. If, as you say, one crime can be forgiven by the creation of the sea train, then I would like you to erase today's crime.
Oh wait, this is Tom going,
If, as you say, one crime can be forgiven by the creation of the sea train, then I would like you to erase today's crime.
And then everyone is just quietly murmuring to themselves.
Even if that favor were granted, we'd just be returning to where we were 14 years ago. You would be given the death penalty again. The crime of building the Pirate King's ship would remain. And that's exactly how I'd have it. I am proud with the boom that I aided the man called Roger.
That monster! Proud that he helped the Pirate King?
You traitor! Dangerous fish man!
Mr. Tom, why?
It's better this way. Frankie, don't you blame yourself, you hear? I never thought the government would come after that blueprint. Thanks to the Roger incident, they really had me on the ropes.
Maybe so, but that doesn't mean you have to.
It's all right. Look, even if my fate reverts to what it was 14 years ago, everything's different now. This island has regained its former strength. So you see, no matter what happens to me, I'll live on as the town grows stronger. My dream has finally set sail.
And then Tom breathes his last and falls right next to Frankie.
Mr. Tom!
Mr. Tom! Mr. Tom!
Iceberg, Frankie, take care of the blueprint. Miss Kokoro, Yokozuna, thanks for taking care of me up until now.
Mr. Tom!
Oh wait, it wasn't, I forget, it wasn't actual bullets. They were actually tranquilizer bullets as well. So it's not him breathing his last, it's just that he passes out.
The tranquilizer finally kicked in, huh? Secure all 3 criminals behind the attack on the judicial ship. Yes, sir!
Wait,
Huh?
the name of the crime has changed. For the crime of building Pirate King Gold Roger's pirate ship, you will take the shipbuilding engineer Tom and only Tom to Annie's lobby. That is all.
Sentimental old fool. No matter. I've got no use for the cronies. Release the two apprentices.
And then it cuts to the judge walking away.
Nothing can save Mr. Tom now.
Oh, this is Kokoro who's crying.
Nothing can save Mr. Tom now. We're dealing with the world government. There's nothing we can do. Tough it out, you two. Mr. Tom saved you. If you make enemies of those people, no matter how many lives you have, it won't be enough. Annie's lobby is the judicial island, in the possession of the government. No criminal who's been taken there has ever come back alive. Not one!
And then it cuts to a soldier speaking to Spandam.
The sea train is ready. We can escort the prisoner. The sea train is ready. We can escort the prisoner now. Miss Kokoro, I can't take it. Hey, what are you waiting for? Cart him away on the double. This fat, crazy fish man. Huh?
And then as Spandam looks behind him, he doesn't have enough time to react as Frankie runs up and with a big old gun just gives the world's greatest home run swing and hits Spandam directly in the face. Frankie! And sends Spandam flying in the opposite direction.
Yeah! Now Tom's apprentice has gone mad.
Mr. Spandam's face was smashed in! And you see here that Spandam's face is just royally jacked up.
Frankie, stop it! Get him!
Catch him!
Go ahead and shoot him! That's right. I won't let you take him away. Give back Mr. Tom!
And it just cuts to Frankie, who's beating up all of these Navy soldiers with guns. He's not shooting them. He's just holding it by the barrel and just beating them all down with the gun stocks. Then it cuts to a train. Making its way out of Water 7.
Ugh, curse him! He got away! That cutty flam brat! I'll never forgive him! He's a full-blown criminal! Once this matter is cleared up, I'll come back here and have that idiot hanged!
Mr. Spandam!
What now?
It's Cuddy Flam!
What?
He chased us all the way out here! He's on the tracks! He has some sort of weapon! Doot, doot. Stay there, Yokozuna.
Ghetto! What's that guy's problem? Is he an idiot?
I'm fully embracing Spandam's voice now more than ever.
Is he an idiot?
What do we do?
Are you an idiot too? Just run him down! This is perfect! He's a criminal anyway. It just means his day of execution is coming a little sooner than expected. It's nothing to worry about. Ugh. Stop right there, Puffing Tom. Where do you think you're taking the guy who created you, huh?
And then Frankie opens fires on the Tom, and it doesn't do anything, as we just cut to Tom, who's on the boat, on the sea train itself, as the train gets closer and closer and closer.
Ah! Ghetto!
As Yokozuna is like telling Frankie, get out of the way, because Frankie's not moving.
I won't let you go! Get back, Mr. Tom! Stop, sea train!
And then we get some flashback images of Tom.
I see. You were thrown away by your parents, huh? That's priceless.
Hey! You're laughing way too much!
All right, come to my house with a boom!
And it cuts to Frankie. Who's right there in front of the Tom, the Puffing Tom, and he braces as he tries to keep the Tom from moving.
Mr. Tom, I don't want to build ships anymore. How can I love the ships I've made when they've hurt the people really important to me? But Mr. Tom, you're still my role model! I want you to come back and teach me again!
Then there's a massive boom sound at the front of the Tom, Puffing Tom. And we get some more narration as Frankie's body flies through the air, heavily damaged, as Spandam just smiles to himself.
Because someday, I want to build a dream ship too. A dream ship that can sail to the ends of the world with pride.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of chapter 357 and the final chapter of volume 37. So, that's all we got. That's it. But we got a little bit something here at the end, as in it's just giving reference to where we're going to be touching on next. Set sail with One Piece. Read all about Monkey D. Luffy's adventures as he sails around the world, assembling a motley crew to join him on his search for the legendary treasure One Piece. For more information, check out onepiece.viz.com. So, we've already gone, and it tells you where we've been and where we're going to be heading. So, we've already been through the East Blue, which is volume 1 through 12. Yeah. East Blue, which is volume 1 through 12. Then we have Baroque Works, which is volume 12 through 24. Then we have Skypiea, which is volume 24 to 32. And then we have Water 7, which is volumes 32 to 46. After that, we have Thriller Bark, which is 46 to 50. Then Saba Ori, which is 50 through 54. And then Impel Down from volume 54 onwards. And I believe at this time, Impel Down wasn't fully turned into like all of the volumes. But after we're done with Water 7, and we're just kind of, I want to say we got at least, yeah, we still got a ways to go before we're completely done with Water 7. But after that, we got Thriller Bark, then Saba Ore, then Impel Down, and then we got the Paramount War after that. We still got a ways to go before we fully catch up. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. Took a good, solid 2 hours. And might as well call it 20 minutes because it's going to be about 2 hours and 20 minutes when I'm done saying this. But we're done. We saw the introduction of Tom, a fishman who helped create the Oro Jackson. The words that Tom actually had the blueprints for Pluton with him, and Spandam in the past was looking for it. And did everything he could in order to make it so that Tom was a convicted criminal, and therefore they could go ahead and get the blueprints from him. So we got all that going on. We see well, that's just the stuff that happened in the past. But we got the present, where Luffy proves to be a pretty powerful adversary for Luffy and Zoro as he tosses the both of them into the sea, or at least Luffy in the one direction, and Zoro clearly into the ocean, just with full strength. Like, how do you have that much strength to throw a person's body through a building and out into the distance? I mean, we see that again in the future, way off in the future, but you know, and so many things to fully experience. Including one of the most important moments, I think, in this is how Frankie became the person that he was, like personality-wise, but also Usopp fully realizing and acknowledging that he knows that the Mary is beyond saving, but he just still doesn't want to give up on that fact. And then, you know, Cloud Botterman and all that. So many good things to come from this chapter. I'm taking way too long. I'm sorry, but this was a great volume to read, and I'm glad I was able to share this moment of reading these chapters for the very first time with all of you. I will see you all tomorrow, same time, where we continue with volume 38 and continue deeper into the Water 7 arc. So, all I can say to everyone here is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, share the stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And I feel like I'm going to stop leaving off the whole membership thing, because you guys are capable of making that decision on your own. I mean, if you want to, it's just right there down at the video. I don't need to suggest it. You guys can make that decision on your own without me trying to influence you. Then like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. Because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!